Minha mãe sempre fez vestidos, roupas, peças maravilhosas. É o talento dela que me inspira mais. É quando o meu pai perdeu o trabalho, e aí, assim, foi difícil naquela época. E aí a gente começou tudo de novo. Eu me senti na obrigação de ajudá-los de alguma forma. Procurando no Facebook, assim, eu não sei o que aconteceu. Foi muito impulso. Eu criei a página, eu não sabia, assim, poderia vender ou poderia não vender.
Assim, de 1 para 1000, né? Um pedido assim para 1000.
E a nossa casa se transformou no nosso ateliê. Hoje a gente já tem um time de mais de 20 pessoas que trabalham com a gente. O anúncio que a gente faz no Facebook dos nossos posts nos dá um retorno gigante. Mas, assim, para todos os estados do Brasil, todo dia a gente despacha.
Quando meu marido perdeu o trabalho, não ganhava dinheiro. Depois eu ganho dinheiro para mim e para minha família.
Sim, eu sou imensamente grata, tanto aos meus pais. O que eu aprendo mais com ela, assim, tanto da determinação, da responsabilidade e também da própria produção.
Pensei que não ia dar de conta. E ela quem é o pontapé mesmo do negócio.
Hi, everybody. So excited to be here today. How are all of you? So that Brazilian mother-daughter team from Atelier de Arte harnessed the power of the Facebook family of apps to grow their sales by 11 times and grew their employee base from 2 to 20, all in the space of just 1 year. My name's Kate McCarthy. I'm a product marketing lead on the business platform team at Facebook. In my job, I get the opportunity to hear stories like that every day. And I wanted to share just one of them with you today to let you hear firsthand the power of the Facebook family. Today, I'm here with Nikila Srinivasan. She's a product management director on our ads team. And together, our joint goal for today is help all of you harness the power of the Facebook family for your businesses. Now, I know that we have a mixed audience of businesses and developers in the audience today. Our main goal for today is help you to understand how to leverage the Facebook family of apps for your businesses. However, that said, for those of you who are developers in the audience who may also develop for clients, our hope is that you will also be able to leverage that context and be able to use it to maximize results for your clients as well. Hopefully, in the next year, we'll be able to tell a similar growth story to the one that we just heard, but instead about yourselves, your businesses, or that of one of your clients. Let's start by talking about the unique time that we live in today. There's never been a better time to have a good idea. Whether you make baby clothes, like Atelier de Arte, you've dreamed up the next great food concept, the best thing since rolled ice cream, or you develop mobile apps, there's never been a better time to latch onto a great idea and try to build a new business. Why is that? Because in our connected world, the distance between a good idea and the people it serves has never been shorter. A good idea today is just as likely to be found on a phone as it is on a shelf in the store. According to experts who study this sort of thing, currently we're in the middle of a fourth industrial revolution. I know, right? Until recently, I didn't realize we'd had any more than one. But apparently we have. And what characterizes the fourth industrial revolution is that it is not primarily driven by advances in technology, as the first three were, but is instead driven by advances in communications and connectivity. And I think we see that in the markets that we serve today. Never before have businesses had the opportunity to connect with people in such a personalized way as they can today at scale. And businesses who are embracing all this new goodness, all this connectedness, are growing at incredible rates. Since 2010, there are more than 30 companies who've gone from 0 in revenue to more than $1 billion a year. That in the space of just 10 years. With the help of technology, you can easily get a new business off the ground, all for a fraction of the cost and in a fraction of the time that it used to take to bring a good idea to market. As good ideas come to market faster, the global marketplace is evolving. Heavyweights used to sit on the S&P 500 for an average of 33 years. That's changing, and now it's come down to just 14 years. There's more fluidity in the market, more room for innovation and growth. Small businesses and established brands alike now have the opportunity to compete and inspire one another on a playing field that has never been more level. At Facebook, we're doing our own small part to help democratize access to marketing tools, to help small businesses reach the same people on our platform that large businesses have access to. As a former small business owner myself, I totally empathize with just how hard it is to build a new business from scratch, to find new customers, to get it off the ground. And that's why I am so excited to get the opportunity to come to work every day and get to work on building these amazing products to help small businesses grow and thrive. I'm humbled to say that at Facebook, we already serve an incredible base of businesses, most of them small businesses. Millions, actually tens of millions of businesses rely on the Facebook family of apps regularly to run and grow their business. In fact, there are more than 90 million business pages on Facebook, 25 million business profiles on Instagram, and more than 5 million businesses using the WhatsApp business app. So why are so many businesses using our products? A core part of the value proposition that we provide is the unparalleled reach of the Facebook family. Let me use this graphic just to give you a sense for the scale of our platform. There are just under 8 billion people in the world. About half of them have access to the internet, and most of those access the internet from a mobile device. 2.7 billion people regularly use the Facebook family of apps. That means that more than 70% of the global internet population and an even higher percentage of the mobile internet population are reachable on our platform. No matter what customers you are trying to reach with your business, chances are they're on the Facebook family of apps. So far, we've covered why you want your business to be on the Facebook family of apps. Now we're going to get more into the what and the how for how to leverage our tools to grow and thrive. For the rest of our presentation, Nikhil and I are going to walk you through 3 basic steps. I'm going to take us through how to set up for success on our platform. Then Nikhila will come up and cover 2, amplify your reach, and 3, test and learn. So let's jump into getting set up for success. The very first thing you need to do to get set up on the family of apps is to establish your business presence. Let's see a quick show of hands. I'd love to see. How many of you already have a business presence, either on Facebook, on Instagram, or WhatsApp? Cool, so a fair number of hands. For those of you who didn't raise your hand, you can think of an online business presence as your business's home on the web. It's a place where people can come and seek out the latest, your contact information, view your content and updates, and reach out to you to learn more or to initiate a transaction. It's free and easy to get started on any of our platforms. And in fact, many businesses choose to be active in more than one place to allow them to reach more people. In the coming weeks, I'm happy to share that we'll be rolling out an update that makes it easier to link your Facebook page and your Instagram profile. Linking these 2 things will unlock more value for your business across the family of apps, and it will also allow you to manage those presences more easily. For example, you can already share a post on Instagram, and then you can share it to Facebook so more people will see it. At the same time, we'll also be enabling a new option which allows you to sync your business information across your Facebook page and your Instagram profile. if you have this turned on, whenever you update your contact information in one of these two places, so for example, your email address, or your phone number, it will automatically update in the other place as well. That means it'll be easier to manage your business on the family of apps, and perhaps more importantly, your customers will always see the latest information for your business. Once you've gotten set up with your online business presence, the next step is to start interacting and engaging with customers. The key way to start doing that in our ecosystem is to start sharing content and updates about your business. Posts and stories, also called status on WhatsApp, are the two main ways to do that. I'm going to quickly walk you through what both of those are and share with you an example of how a local business called DogWorks, it's a local dog rehab business, uses posts and stories to engage with its audience. So first, let's talk about posts. For those of you who are already active on Facebook or Instagram, either as a business or even as a consumer, you're probably already pretty familiar with posts. This is the more traditional way of sharing content. Posts remain indefinitely on your profile so that people can come and scroll through your past updates when they come visit you to learn more about you. Here's an example of a fun post that DogWorks shared on Instagram. Now let's talk about stories. Stories are newer. They were introduced just 2 years ago, but they're growing incredibly quickly. Already, more than 1 billion stories are being shared each day across the family of apps. Stories is where your customers are increasingly spending their time. So there's no time like the present to get started. It's a great time to start experimenting, see what resonates with your audience, and start complement your posting activity with stories. So what are stories? Stories are ephemeral, they're casual, and they're visual first. What I mean by ephemeral is that they disappear after 24 hours. This is great because it lessens the pressure to create such polished content, and that then allows you to be more casual, so to be more fun, spontaneous, on the fly. They're also visual first, meaning that they lead with a video or a photo instead of text. And you may notice they're often shared in this vertical orientation, which makes sense because people hold their phones vertically more than 90% of the time. So using a story allows you to provide a really immersive, engaging experience for your audience. Let's check out a quick example of how DogWorks took an everyday dog walk. They filmed a video story on the go, and a super low effort way to engage in a really fun, authentic way with their community. Messaging is another foundational business tool that we offer across the family of apps. Between Messenger, Instagram Direct, and WhatsApp, we have 3 of the top messaging platforms globally. You can leverage Facebook family messaging solutions to drive results along several points of the customer journey. The real superpower of messaging is the ability to drive people from interest, so the point where they're just considering making a purchase and maybe just want to learn more about you, to action, so actually pulling the trigger and driving a transaction. Messaging is also great at other points, for example, to provide customer service after the sale or to re-engage customers down the road. And people love messaging with businesses. 60% of people globally are already using messaging to connect with businesses. And more than 50% of people say that they're more likely to transact with the business that they can message with. Here's just a couple quick tips for getting started with messaging. First, if customers aren't already naturally messaging you, you can encourage them to message you by using visual cues. So for example, you can share a post that has a message now call to action button to spur them to message you. Or you could share a short link, like an m.me link for Messenger, for example, in a post to encourage them to message you. Second, once you get people reaching out to you, be responsive. People expect you to be more responsive when they reach out via a message than if, for example, they send you an email. And more than that, when you respond quickly, that can often help to build confidence for them to engage with you further and move toward a transaction. Earlier this year, we announced that we were testing the ability for businesses to manage their Instagram direct messages in their Facebook page inbox. And I'm excited to share that in the coming weeks, we will now be gradually rolling out this feature to all businesses globally. Why is this so awesome? This means that you'll be able to manage your Messenger and your Instagram direct messages in one place without needing to switch apps. This will save you time and ensure that you never miss a message or a comment. This is also the first time that you will be able to read and respond to Instagram direct messages on desktop. So for those of you who spend most of your day at a desk, or maybe you're getting, RSI from thumb gymnastics, or maybe just want to scale your messaging and be more efficient, this is going to be a real game changer for you. So far, we've talked about sharing and messaging. Next, we're going to dive into the tools that we offer to start driving real business results. Because a like on a post or a message in your inbox is a great start, but I think all the business owners out there are very familiar, that the key thing is turning that engagement and effectively converting it into a sale. So here is a very simple how-to for how to start driving business results on the Facebook family of apps. It's 2 simple steps. 1, know what business objective you want to drive. Here's some examples. 2, adopt the right tools to then drive that type of outcome. I know that this sounds super simple, but you would be shocked at how many businesses they're either not thoughtfully driving toward the right outcome, or they're leveraging the wrong tools. They're not using best practices to drive the outcome that they want. So let's take a moment now for you all to think about what outcome you are trying to drive for your business. Is it an online sale? Is it an in-store foot traffic into your store so that hopefully someone will make a purchase in a store? Is it an app install or an in-app purchase? Is it perhaps a lead or a sign-up or a subscription? Or do you maybe have a services business and you're trying to drive appointment bookings? In the next few slides, I'm going to walk through just a few of the most popular business objectives that businesses tend to have, and I'm going to highlight for you what are the best practice tools that are most effective at driving those outcomes across the family of apps. So first, if you have an e-commerce business, so you're trying to drive online sales, we offer a variety of tools to help you achieve those outcomes. The way to get started is first to upload a product catalog. So that's just what it sounds like. It's a list of products with descriptions, with pictures, with prices, and so on. And once you do that, either via what we call Catalog Manager or via a partner, you'll then be able to start surfacing those products across the family of apps. Next, you want to start driving discovery of those products. And one way to do that is by featuring those products in the content that you shared, that we talked about a few minutes ago. So the simple, basic way to do that is just to share a picture of a product that you're selling, or maybe reference the product name in the post. But a slightly more sophisticated way to do that is to use a product tag. That's a structured way to include a product in a post, or as you see here, a story. It's clickable, so that when people click on it, they can view a product details page. We recently also started rolling out on-site checkout on Facebook and Instagram. So that allows people to check out directly right within the family, and it enables a more seamless purchase experience. This feature has started to roll out to selected businesses on Facebook and Instagram and will become available to more businesses in the future. So let's say, alternatively, you prefer to sell products on your own website. That's totally cool too. We also offer a variety of tools to enable you to do that. The way to start is you can link to your website from your Facebook page, your Instagram profile, your WhatsApp profile, or you can share a link in a post, for example. When you're ready, you can also accelerate your website sales using Facebook ads. I'm going to highlight just one ads product for you today that's incredibly effective at driving online sales, and it's called Dynamic Ads. Dynamic Ads automatically promotes the most relevant products in your catalog to people who have either expressed an interest in your products already or are likely to. By matching together the right product and the right person, we're able to drive incredibly effective results for e-commerce businesses. Let's turn now to service providers. If you are a service provider, chances are that either appointments or leads are the lifeblood of your business. Our Appointments on Facebook product, which you can see here on the left, allows you to accept appointments for free from both Facebook users and non-users. It also allows you to manage your appointment calendar and keep track of customer information. If your business relies on leads, our Facebook Lead Ads product makes lead generation simple. When a customer clicks on a lead ad, a form pops up, already pre-populated with the contact information that they've previously provided to Facebook. When they fill out your target questions and they hit submit, your business generates a qualified lead, and you can follow up with that customer directly and start building a relationship and driving toward a sale. For the mobile app developers in the room, you can use ads to achieve your marketing goals, whether it's app installs or in-app purchases. What you see here is an example of an app install ad, which, as you might guess, drives app installs, very creatively named. When you also tack on our value optimization feature to an app install ad, what we do is we show these app install ads to the people likely to spend the most on in-app purchases. Magic, right? So for the case study shown here, a company called Play Studios, which was advertising its Pop Slots game, they leveraged value optimization together with app install ads to drive 61% higher average revenue per user and 73% higher return on advertising spend compared to driving app installs alone. So let's start building your action plan. We're going to build an action plan throughout the course of this presentation so that after you get home, you can start making all of this real. So we're going to be giving you one call to action for each of the 3 sections in our presentation, so you'll have 3 things to do once you get home tonight. For the first one, we're going to encourage you to build your toolkit to make sure that you're set up for success. What I mean by that is think about the next tool or set of tools out of all the ones I just described that you want to adopt for your business. So if you were one of the people who didn't raise your hand earlier in the presentation, you're not yet on the family of apps for your business, it's a very simple calculation for you. Very simple call to action is create an online presence or presences for your business on the family of apps. If you already have a presence, but maybe you're not using the optimal set of tools, or I piqued your interest by sharing some examples earlier today, think now about what the key business objective you're trying to drive is and identify that tool or tools that you want to try next. It might be sharing a story. It might be encouraging customers to message you. It might be starting to drive appointment bookings or leads, or it might be uploading a product catalog. Over time, continue to build out that toolkit until you're leveraging all the best practices to drive the kinds of outcomes that you want on the Facebook family of apps. That's it for the first section. We're going to share another customer story, and then after that, Nikila is going to take us through sections 2 and 3.
When I had my first child, something sparked inside of me, and I think a lot of mom entrepreneurs can relate to that. They want to make something beautiful for their children. They have amazing product. They just don't have the audience. I wanted to empower more moms and bring their products to the marketplace. And that's how Spearmint Love was born. Today, we are one of the largest e-commerce stores for baby and children's clothing and accessories. In the early days of Spearmint Love, it was not easy. I knew absolutely nothing about online marketing or advertising. When we first started advertising on Instagram, it was scary spending $20 a day because I had never spent $1. We started seeing more sales immediately. We built a custom audience based on the people who visited our website. Dynamic ads have been incredibly effective for our business. They pull from our company's product catalog and encourage people to revisit the site and make a purchase. For every $1 we spend on Instagram, we get $34 in sales. We've been able to reduce our customer acquisition cost from $5 to 11 cents across Facebook, Instagram, and Audience Network. Spearmint Love went from me working out of my closet at home to a big warehouse and 10 employees. By the end of the year, we hope to double the size of our team. I know how hard it is to balance a business with being a mom. So it's rewarding to be working with other moms to help them get to the next level with their business. I owe everything to Instagram.
All right. Thank you, Kate. I don't know about the rest of you. Every time I watch that video, it warms my heart because more baby clothes can only mean good things for the world. Hi, everyone. My name is Nikhila Srinivasan. I'm a product management director working on small business advertising products at Facebook. I'm super excited to be here and share with all of you how you can grow your business across the family of apps. So Kate talked about some of the basics for you to adopt the right business tools that will drive actual business results for you. Now, the next phase in you to take your performance to the next level is understanding exactly how you can tap into the unparalleled reach of the Facebook family that we talked about before. And the way to do that is to make sure that you are finding the right audience for your business, wherever they are, in the most engaging way, and thereby driving business results for you. Let's talk about how you will actually do that and amplify your reach. Anyone here make a purchase online in the last month? How about in the last week? How about today? Was it only me? Okay. So one thing you should observe about each of the person here that's made a purchase is your consumer journey was likely different, right? Probably not all of you made an impulse purchase right away. I did some of that, I'll admit. Take me, for instance. This is a ring that I discovered from a business on Facebook. I really did, actually, both of these rings. This happened because I was looking through my Facebook newsfeed at work one day. We can all admit that we tend to do that. And I discovered this business, and I found it super interesting. They were selling jewelry from local designers, but I didn't really make a purchase then. But when I went home that night, I opened up my laptop, and I went to this business's website. I looked through what other products they were selling and what they were offering, and I found them to be really interesting, so I actually subscribed to their email newsletter. I wanted to learn more from them. Still didn't make a purchase then. A few days later, I was served an ad on Instagram that showed me a set of many products, including this ring. And this one's especially pretty, I think, and it caught my attention, and I went on to buy it. The most powerful driver for you as a business, as I mentioned before, is being able to proactively find and appeal to the audience who will find your products valuable. But in a world where each consumer has such a different journey, how can you make that possible? We got you covered. When you take my example, I went through many phases as a consumer. Kate talked about the different phases of the consumer journey. First, I hadn't even heard about this business, so I discovered this business. And then I took the time to consider what products they offered. And finally, I chose one of the products that I wanted to buy from several others. So let's assume you were this business trying to drive a transaction with a consumer like me. If you had the Facebook Pixel for your website or the mobile SDK for your mobile app installed, once I engaged with your ad, you would then understand what actions I took after that. And once you had that understanding, you could, for example, use a product like custom audiences that will then allow you to reach out to me with many more products that I could be interested in. Like, this was a ring that wasn't easy to find. I found a lot more rings that I wanted to buy. Or you could decide that you actually want to expand your reach even further and reach out to even more audiences like me. And for that, you could adopt a product like lookalike audiences. So you've now managed to find your audience wherever they are in the consumer journey and reach out to them. But you'll notice one thing about my journey for buying this ring that I noticed before, that I mentioned before. You guys remember where I actually saw this business? On Facebook newsfeed. But where I eventually went to buy this ring was Instagram. So you realize that the consumer actually has a varied journey across the family of apps as well. We built a product called Automatic Placements that makes it really easy for you to meet your audience no matter where they are across the Facebook family of apps. This is a feature that allows you to reach out to a new audience and expand your reach, or you could reach out to your existing customers at a much lower cost to drive even better results. So now that you have figured out how to find your audience and how to appeal to them through their customer journey and through wherever they are across the family of apps, you want to make sure you're maximizing every opportunity you have to interact with them. And the best way to do that is to build really great and engaging creative. In the next section, I'll talk about two quick things. One, what are some best practices that you can adopt to build good creative? And two, how do you optimize that creative for the context in which it will be shown, which is mobile? Let's talk about this. Creative is really a great way for you to bring your business's personality to life. It is a visual way for you to express who you are as a business. And we find that good creative has three attributes. It makes you think, feel, and act. Let's talk with quick examples of what this looks like in action. In this first example, Fitbit, which many of you may have heard of, is a fitness tracker in this instance, does a great job of making you think about what this brand is about, and what this product is about, and what this campaign is about. It also made me think about how I haven't been to the gym in the past week and probably needed a Fitbit to remind me. Good creative should also make you feel. The Honest Company is a great example of a creative that truly appeals to the audience it's trying to reach with. This is a company that builds, among other things, it makes baby products, and they wanted to reach out to new moms. And this creative truly connects with you in a very human and emotional way. As a third point, good creative should also make you act. Deliveroo is a great example of this. It's a food delivery service in the UK. They tapped into the interactivity of stories, and they animated this pizza box and literally made you want to take action with a swipe-up call to action. I don't know about the rest of you, very few things in this world make me want to take action like the promise of pizza. So good job, Deliveroo. We also have a lot of best practices for creative available across Facebook Creative Shop. Take a look at some of their websites and download the apps to figure out how you can build engaging content. Now, once you've built good creative, you need to think about where this is going to be seen. And we talked about how everyone is on mobile today and on mobile feed. We did some research to understand how does consumption on mobile feeds differ, and what are some of the attributes of it? And we found that consumption on mobile feed is frequent. People are context switching a lot, and they're scrolling through the feed or swiping through stories frequently. So you want to think about adding frequent, lightweight motions to your creative so that it can stand out and be thumb-stopping. Consumption is also really fast. So think about how you can be short, sweet, and relevant with your creative. And finally, sound on is great, but by default, most people are scrolling through feed with sound off. So think about how your creative can tell the story just visually. Now that we've talked about a few practices, I want to make sure I ground us in an example of a business that brought a lot of these practices together and achieved great results. Boozoo is an online language learning platform. Their goal is to get more people to learn a new language. Initially, when they were thinking about their marketing strategy, they went after a pretty narrow audience. They said, we're going to go after young people on one platform. But they revised their strategy, and when they worked with us to run this campaign, they decided that they wanted to go broad and expand their reach. So they started by targeting a broad audience, and then they used automatic placements to expand their reach across Facebook Stories, Instagram Stories, Facebook Feed, Instagram Feed, and Audience Network. And their goal was to drive more cost-efficient acquisitions. They wanted more people to install their app. So they matched their creative to this and built creative that made people think, feel, and act. They built short videos that had, as you can see here, a very clear call to action of install now. And the results speak for themselves. They were able to drive higher return on ad spend for this campaign with these practices, and they were able to drive down the cost per install. So we talked about all of the ways that you can amplify your reach, find the audience wherever they are in their journey as a consumer across the family of apps. Like Kate mentioned, we don't want to leave you without an action plan. So for the next ad campaign that you run after you leave from here, use automatic placements and see how you may be expanding your reach and reaching people across the family. So once you've set up your business for success and you've learned how to reach the audience that you want to, it's really important that you embrace the test and learn mentality. And that's because it takes the guesswork out of measurement, and it helps you understand what's working so you can truly double down on it. Let's talk about what this actually entails. And I must mention, this is a characteristic we see that's very common of the most successful businesses on our platform. No guesswork, clear hypotheses, learnings, and being able to iterate on them. The process of test and learn follows these steps roughly. You start out with a business question. You can have a set of hypotheses that you want to test out. You then follow that by actually setting up and running a test that gives you responses and understanding. You analyze your results to see what worked and what didn't. And very important, and not to forget, use what you learned from these results to continue to improve your marketing strategy. Now, I recognize this is a lot to ask for from businesses, right? Test and learn is not easy, can be hard. It's time-consuming, it takes resources. It might seem like it has to be very manual. But don't worry, we have you covered. I will talk through some examples of tools and products that you can use that will help you to bring the test and learn mentality to life. Let's say, as Kate mentioned, you've set up your presence, you have a page that's running, and you want to understand how are different posts that you created performing with different audience segments. You could use the Page and Profile Insights tool to understand more of that. Let's say you ran an ad campaign and you want to know how is your advertising strategy resonating with different audiences. The Audience Insights for Ads tool will allow you to go deep in seeing what worked for what audiences and what didn't. And finally, an example of a tool that will allow you to set up and run a test is split testing. This brings the A/B testing, the equivalent of the A/B testing methodology, to a product and will make it a lot easier for you to test and learn. Let's make it concrete. Here's a theme by talking about an actual example. Let's say you are a travel agency and you are an online travel agency. Your goal is to sell tickets, and we want to be very obvious with the names of the agencies here, so it's called Travel For You, the travel agency. A business question you could ask is, in order to sell more tickets, which of these creatives works better? The mountains or the beach? Anyone else team mountain? I'm definitely team mountain. What you do next is actually set up and run the test. And split testing will allow you to define a population. What it does is it tests the variations of your ad with the split of this population. It's non-overlapping. And it shows each of these groups the two versions of the ads that you talked about. Test group 1 sees version 1, 2 sees version 2. And then this tool computes and determines which is the winning combination and gives that out to you. Who do you think is the winner? Sorry, everyone. This is not rigged at all. It just so happens I was Team Mountain. Let's say you learn that Team Mountain, the mountain creative, is something that works really well. Now, remember when I talked about the process of test and learn, I talked about how it's important to feed that back into your strategy. Once you learn that this is the winning ad set, then create another ad campaign with it and see your results materially improve. Now, it's not just creative that you can run split tests for with this tool. You can also do it for placements. You could do it for optimizations or you could do it for different types of audiences. So if you really embrace this approach and use all of these tools, your results will materially improve and your business will be able to grow. So when you leave from here, try running a test next week. See what you learn and what you can improve for your business's results. All right, that was the end of our 3 steps, but let's do a quick recap. First, the first step for you to actually grow your business across the family is to get set up for success. Adopt the right tools that will match your business objective to the tool that will help you get the job done. Identify what your toolkit is and go build it out. Number 2, amplify your reach. Figure out how you can reach people across the family of apps, wherever they are in their journey as a consumer, with really engaging creative. Try automatic placements for your next ad campaign. And finally, but not to be forgotten at all, make sure you are adopting the test and learn mentality. Take the guesswork out of measurement and see how you can improve your marketing strategy. Try running a test in the next week and see what you learn. I want to make sure we leave you with the resources that are available for you. These have examples of businesses like you and other best practices that you can use for inspiration. Thank you so very much for attending this session today, and thank you for bringing us along in your journey as you grow your business. As Kate mentioned, I am very excited and eager to see which of your success stories we can share at F8 next year. Enjoy the rest of your conference. Thank you.